Good to see you.
Okay, hello again, my fellow revenants. Great to see you all today. And I had a little question here about bayonets, but especially Ichor efficiency. It says it reduces the cost of weapon attacks for a limited time. There are those who watch their Ichor while fighting, and those who do not. One thing's for certain: one stays alive longer than the other. So what does that mean? It doesn't really give you any kind of a description. We kind of went through it kind of quickly in sort of a glossed over manner in episode 21 of the Road to 100. So I want to kind of expand on that now a little bit for all you bayonet lovers out there. This will give you a good idea of how to implement it into a build and why it's useful, and some of the very interesting pairing that it has with supernatural blood and lifesteal. So the whole idea behind it is that you'll notice that when we shoot, there goes our bullet, and that cost us 2 Ichor down there, so we're now at 28 instead of 30. We shoot again for the heavy charge shot. It costs us 2 Ichor. The regular shot is a short range blood attack, but it only costs 1 Ichor. So if we go ahead and pop Cognitive Zeal, and then we run Ichor efficiency, you'll notice again it reduces our Ichor consumption by 1, but it doesn't do anything for the regular shot because the lowest you can go is 1 consumption. Now, this is also interesting that this same effect is also the same effect that you get from Mia's. We'll go with Mia's alternate here. It is the same effect that you get from her communal Blood Awakening. So again, we're using 2 Ichor per shot. So if we go with the 15 or 16-year-old's communal here, and then we shoot again, you'll notice that the charge shots only take 1 Ichor to produce those heavy charge shots. So that same effect is shared between the 2 gifts, Ichor efficiency and Blood Awakening. However, when you pair this with Louie, where's Louie? And his communal, you can get significant damage out of it, as well as having Ichor efficiency equipped with Reckless Abandon and these 3 gifts down here. Yep, I am. And then pair it with Supernatural Blood and Lifesteal. So Supernatural Blood, when you're out of Ichor, this will drain your HP. So yeah, here's the description of it, which again it doesn't really tell you much, except that you use HP when you run out of Ichor. So if you have 0 Ichor stocks down there, we have 30 right now, but if you go down to 0, then you can use your life instead of Ichor. So to kind of illustrate this, we'll go ahead with Louie's communal. Now, Supernatural Blood costs 5% of your health per Ichor that you use. So something like Gift Extension there is 8 Ichor, so that would be 40% of your health to make it. So we shoot this guy, and you see we're draining our health down there. And there we go, we killed that guy. So that's the interesting thing about Supernatural Blood, is that it, like I said, it takes a bunch of Ichor to produce these effects, but at the same time, once that happens, then you don't have any issues because you're sacrificing your HP. Now, the trick to this is that if you run Supernatural Blood, since that drains 5% of your health, and Lifesteal upon kill, that restores 5% of your health. So if your bullet kills an enemy, you get all the health back that you spent. Since you're only spending 1 Ichor from Ichor efficiency, which costs 155 health for Harmonia, and then on kill, you get back 155 health. And if you can one-shot enemies as you run around with Louie's communal active and all of your buffs going, you can kill and move on with basically unlimited shots, because every enemy you shoot dies and then gives you back the health that you just spent to shoot. So as long as you're not shooting more than the enemies you're killing, you're gonna definitely be plus. And you could take away charge accelerator and go for rush of blood, because this kind of a build has no effect on your light or dark scaling. None of this has to do with your dark scaling. It has everything to do with your rating, your stat rating. So to show that here, let's go back and get our 12 Ichor back, because the Ichor is good to get the active gifts going, but however the fact of the matter is once you have the actives going, after that you want to be at 0 so you can be spending the health to go for, you know, the other buffs. So we'll go for this and this, and maybe we can go for this. Good. Okay, so now we can run up here, and Louie gives us a 25% buff, so we kill, and that gets us up. But now we're going to need Ichor efficiency, and that kills, and the money and the health we spent to shoot him. Yep. See, now there we wasted a shot. So we shot once, killed him, got it back. Okay. Shoot him. And we're getting the health back that we're spending. And we're still at 2013 health. Get around the rocks. And you could use a charge booster. And now we're out of Louie's communal, so we're going to have to go for backstabs now, which is where our blood veil comes in handy. We'll restore 13 Ichor, 13 and a half Ichor on strike. Okay, Louie's going to kill him, so we can get our other buffs going. Oops. Let's get another backstab, get a bunch more Ichor, so we can go for our communal again with Louie. Okay, and you don't want to be getting hit, obviously, because then you lose a whole bunch of you lose your gifts, both with Louie and from Overdrive, from the communal Overdrive, and also, oops. Oh, come on. Anyways, that was a misstep on my part. So you can kind of see how you can utilize Ichor efficiency to kind of easily move through these kinds of areas, especially once you get all of the buffs going at once. And once you get into it, you start getting more backstabs and such. And that's why I have a drain activator here as well. You can use a charge accelerator or a gift accelerator to get your buffs going, you know, quicker here. Not really necessary, but you know, it could happen. So we'll do that, and we'll do that, and we'll kill this guy. Now remember, if you get hit, you're gonna lose a whole bunch of health, because you're gonna need Ichor and everything back. So we'll go ahead and kill this guy, kill this guy, kill this guy, and obviously the faster you can execute your charge shots here. So, oh, did not see this guy. I see that, Louie. So again, if we get a backstab, we get 13 Ichor, or 13 and a half. Remember, the formula is our drain rating times 9. So shoot this guy. Oh, see, we're not a one shot because we lost Overdrive. Louie's just gonna kill him. So we'll take the hits so we can get a backstab and get some more health off of this. Okay. And then this guy. That should be a one shot. Yep, 10,000 on shot. That is extremely nice. Okay. And there's that guy. And see, we're getting health back here as we go. Okay, and we're almost out of Ichor efficiency. So we'll get a backstab here so we can get our Ichor back up. And we'll get another charge drain. Now remember, for charge drains you get half the Ichor back. So it's your charge drain amount times 4.5. Now let's get a charge accelerator here, and let's just shoot her for lots of damage. Okay. So that's kind of a little bit about using Louie's communal. Seeing we use a lot of health there to get his communal going again. That's the vestige from upstairs in the boxes. So you can kind of see how that can be utilized a little bit to make sure that you have lots of Ichor going. And Rush of Blood really doesn't hamper you too much at all, since you're not really worried about stamina recovery, because you're using Louie's dodge, which is not a lot of stamina used. So there you can see it doesn't really use that much stamina, but you only need to really use a dodge every now and then, because you're just kind of easily going through these levels. But the thing is that you definitely need to get Ichor efficiency going as soon as you can, but you need to use cognitive zeal first. So you can do this and then this, and you don't need gift extension. I mean, you could do time crunch instead to get faster charge shots off. So that could be a different way to go about this. But so Louie may not be the obvious choice for this kind of a build, but geez, Louie. But Reckless Abandon is a 50% modifier, and the overdrive that he gives you, you see down there at the bottom of the screen here, that overdrive that he gives you is a 25%, so the two multiply to give you an 87.5% damage increase, whereas Jack's communal gives you a 2 times multiplier. So it won't, it's only like 200 or 300 damage extra when you actually run out the numbers here on these shots. But Louie's communal also gives you quick mobility, which pairs with swift destruction. So actually, Louie will grant you more damage in the long run rather than Jack and his communal. And also with Louie's communal, you can still use regeneration. So we can go ahead and use Louie's communal and go for like sacrificial blood. This, and we're losing health now, so we can do this and this. And we can heal up, and we can do this. Okay, we'll get a backstab here, and backstab still kills. Oop. And we can shoot pretty liberally now, and pretty quickly to kind of go through here. And since we have quick dodges, you know. Oops. So we can get a backstab on this guy since time crunch ran out. Now, obviously, we are not going to have very fast. We're not going to have very fast times here, but Louie's overdrive will help us go ahead and get like shots on that guy, and he's dead before anything happens. And as we're killing these guys, we're definitely getting our health back here as we kill on shot. So. What was that, 12,000 on that guy? Okay. And then as they come around the corner here. Now there we lost a whole bunch of attack power because we got hit. So that was unfortunate, but we can get some backstabs here. We regain our Ichor real quick. Go for time crunch, overdrive. And go for another backstab, so we're getting more Ichor back, and that'll fill us up pretty much. So we can go for this, and then we can go for Louie's communal again. And since cognitive zeal is still active, we can go for Ichor efficiency again. This guy will take a backstab from him before we go forward here. And since we're out of supernatural blood, we'll shoot that guy. Kill him. This guy's not there. This guy's here. And since we have Overdrive active, our backstabs kill pretty much for these smaller guys. I mean, it's not guaranteed. But again, as we kill, we get 5% of our health back. And because Supernatural Blood takes 5% of our health, they pair very nicely together. Okay. And, I mean, 13,000, like, I mean, on shot like that, that's just crazy. We kill the dogs. And as you notice, I mean, we don't really need a whole lot of stamina here, so we'll just let it regen kind of easily and simply. So you can use other blood codes. Obviously, you don't have to use Harmonia. However, Supernatural Blood is just the ideal choice here because it pairs so well with how you get health back. And see, now that we lost quick mobility, we're not doing as much damage anymore. But you saw there on like some of those ladies and stuff, we were getting like massive damage multipliers, which is great. Now this will be, you know, obviously. Ooh. Louie, thanks. So we'll try and get a backstab on him. Okay, get some of our Ichor back. So again, if you are down pretty low in health and everything, and you take a hit, you know, you can be put down pretty easily and quickly. So, and again, other great Bayonet builds include Artemis, Queen, some Orion. They're fairly situational, and Weimer could be coerced into making you think that it's a Bayonet build, and it is very high willpower, so it can do very well. However, you miss out on Supernatural Blood and some of these other gifts and such. So I hope that gave everybody a little bit of insight into how to use Ichor efficiency and why you would want to pair it with Supernatural Blood and something like Lifesteal. So as you're losing the 5% health, you're gaining it right back. And if you wanted to, instead of going for Modest Offering, you could go for Cleansing Light, but you'd have to give up. You'd have to give up Rush of Blood for something like Strength and Vitality, and then you could go ahead and pick up Cleansing Light. But then again, you don't have a gift for your friend, or if you're just running alone, that would be the ideal. So then, as you use 5% of your health, you get 75% of it back before you take another shot. But because you killed 5%, or you got 5% back on shot on kill, then you would be always netting more health than you would be spending. So that would be the most ideal way, but again, you lose Rush of Blood, and so therefore you wouldn't always be able to keep up your partner. So if Louie dies, then we lose Reckless Abandon and his Overdrive gift that he gives to us, which increases, you know, that's an 87.5% damage buff plus the 10% here. Where's my calculator? So that would be a total of 1.1 times 1.5 times 1.25. You'd be missing out on a 206% damage increase if you would go for something like Cleansing Light. So if you're not worried about damage, which I am because I'm interested in killing to get back the 5% of health that I spent on shot, on kill per shot. So my requirement for this would be that I need to kill on one pull of the trigger. Boom. And then that kills the enemy and gives me my 5% back. So this obviously does have, like you saw with the large raging woman, we had a problem with her. It took like 3 or 4 shots to take her down. But, you know, that's just kind of the problems you're going to run into. So I hope that answers some questions for people and kind of gives them some insight into how to build and how to use this. So thanks for all for watching, and enjoy bayoneting your way through the game.